Hello grade 10 students. Today I am going to discuss Year-End Evaluation 2018 Department of Education Sabaragamuwa Province paper. So this is paper 1. You get 2 hours. You already know that. And you get 2 parts, part A and part B. Part A 25 short questions and part B 5 questions. And you have to answer all questions. And it says the space provided for each question, and you have to write down the answer inside the space given. And you can't ask for line papers for this. When it comes to marks, 2 marks for each question in part A and 10 marks for each question in part B. So what about time? You can spend 2 minutes and 24 seconds for each question in part A and part B, 12 minutes per question. So let's do paper 1. So part A, try 1 to 5. First you have to try and then look at my answers. Question number 1. The area of the square-shaped lamina is 30 square centimeters. What is the most suitable value for the length of the side of the lamina from the lengths given below? So that means a square is there with area 30 square centimeters. If the side length is A, that means A squared is 30. How you find out the side length? You take the square root. So what's the square root of 30? So how you use the approximation method? You take the value and find out the closest square numbers. So before 30, that's 25 is a square number, and after that, that's 36. So when you take square root 25, that's 5. Here, 6. So the value is in between 5 and 6. So 5 point something. So all the values given 5 point something. Now we need to find out which number is suitable. So how you do that? We take the difference between these two. That's 5, 30 minus 25. What's the difference between these two? 25 to 36, that's 11. So as a fraction, you can write this is 5 over 11. What's that? 5 over 11. 11 times 4. 11 times 4, 45. So for the first approximation, this is 4. So 5.4 is the answer. So when you take only the first approximation, that's 5.4. Actually, when you think about the second number after the decimal point, you will get closer to 5.5. So if it's second decimal, this is 44, 6. And for 60, that's 5. More than 5, that means you can add 1. So 4, 5, close to 5. So, but for this question, you can take 5.4 as the approximated value. So this is the answer. So you will get 1 mark here to get the correct answer, and 1 mark for the method taking the first approximation value. Next one. Question number 2. 1/3 of fruits in a fruit stall are pineapples. Out of the remaining fruits, 1/4 are apples. What is the fraction of apples out of the total number of fruits? So 1/3 fruits in a stall are pineapple. So remaining ones are, first you have to find out remaining remaining part, that's 1 minus 1/3. So 3/3 minus 1/3 becomes 2/3. Then 1/4 of the remaining parts are apples. So apples are 1/4 of the remaining part, 2/3. So what's the value? 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 1/6. So 1/6 is the fraction of apples out of the total number of fruits. So you get 2 marks. 1 mark here and 1 mark there. Question number 3. Find the value of x using the information given in the figure. These two lines are parallel. What can you say about these two angles? If the two lines are parallel, allied angles add up to 180. So 36 plus x plus 2x is 180 degrees. So 3x plus 36 is 180. 3x becomes 180 minus 36. You get 144. Divide by 3. You get 48 degrees. So x is 48. 2 marks. 1 mark here for the method and 1 mark for the answer. Question number 4. Express in logarithm form a to the power x equals y. Can you remember? 10 squared is 100. 10 times 10. You can write this as base goes here. Number is equal to the index. So this is the index. This is the base. So likewise, what's the base here? A. Base A, number is the index. So that's the answer. So 2 marks for that. Question number 5. The area of the curved surface of a cylindrical vessel in which the radius of the base is 7 centimeters is 264. Find the height of it. So when you take the radius 7 and height h of a cylinder, what's the curved surface area? 2 pi RH. That's given 264. Now we'll find out h. 2 times pi is 22/7, r is 7 and height is h. That's equal to 264. 7 get cancelled out. What's h? 264 divided by 2 and 22. I can divide this by 2 and then divide by 11. That's 12 and 12 divided by 2, 6. So the answer is 6 centimeters. So you get 2 marks for this, 1 mark here and 1 mark for the method. Now you can try question number 6 to 12. Question number 6. In a farm of cattle, there are food sufficient for 10 cattle for 2 days. Cattle and days. 10 cattle for 2 days. If 6 cattle from that farm is sent to another farm, for how many days the food would be sufficient for the remaining cattle? So how many cattle days are there? Cattle days, 10 times 2, 20. But now 6 cattle from that farm is sent to another farm. So then remaining ones are 4. Then same cattle days are there. So how you find out how many days they can survive? So 20 divided by 4. How you get 20? So this into this. So that means you can find out 20 divided by 4 is the other number. 4 times 1, 4 times 5. So 5 days. For 5 days, the food is sufficient. So 2 marks, 1 mark here for the answer, 1 mark for the method. Question number 7. The triangle ABC is congruent to the triangle BDE. According to the information shown in the diagram, write the case of congruence and write a side equal to AC. So look at these two triangles. This triangle and this triangle. So what can you say about these two? ABC triangle and BDE triangle. We know that AB is equal to DE. It's given. And 90-degree angle ACB angle is given equal to DBE angle, that's 90 degrees. And also these two lines are parallel. So this angle is equal to this angle. Corresponding angles are equal. So ABC angle is equal to BDE angle. Corresponding angles so that means 2 angles and 1 length. So ABC triangle is congruent to BDE. What's the case? Angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. So here you don't need to write all these because you are getting only 2 marks. So they are looking at the correct case. Angle, angle, side. So this is for your information. I wrote everything. So 2 marks for the congruency. So here 2 marks there. And then it says, what's the congruency? And here write the case of congruency and write a side equal to AC. That means you are getting only 1 mark here. And you have to write down which side AC is equal to. What is the side? AC is opposite to this angle. So opposite to this angle is BE. So you get 1 mark for this answer. Question number 8. It takes 20 minutes time to fill a tank by pipe in which water is flowing in a uniform rate. If 2 pipes of that type are used, what is the time it takes to fill a half of the tank? So think about full tank. To fill the full tank, the time taken is 20 minutes with 1 pipe. It says now if 2 pipes of that type are used. So what happens? The same capacity of the tank. So if 2 pipes are there, this should be 10 minutes, half of the time it takes to fill the full tank. 20 divided by 2. Then it says you need half of the tank, not full tank. Then what is the time it takes to fill? So with 2 pipes, half of the tank means 10 divided by 2. That means it takes 5 minutes to fill half of the tank with 2 pipes. So 5 minutes is the answer. You get 2 marks. So 1 mark here and 1 mark to get this value. Question number 9. Find the least common multiple of these terms 3ab squared and 2a squared b. 3 times a times b squared. Those are the factors. Here 2 times a squared times b. Now when you take the lowest common multiple, you have to take distinct numbers with all maximum powers. So 2 is just 1. 3 power 1. A squared is the maximum power of A. Maximum power of B is B squared. So you get 6A squared, B squared is the lowest common multiple. What's the other way? You can take these two terms at once and find the factors as well. You can divide by 2, divide by 3, divide by A, divide by A again, divide by B, and divide by B again. So multiply all these, you get the lowest common multiple, 6a squared and b squared. So that's the final answer. So 2 marks for that. Question number 10. In the parallelogram PQRS, the length of the perpendicular drawn from P to SQ is 4 centimeters. So that means this is 4 centimeters. If the area of the parallelogram is 40 square centimeters, find the length of the diagonal SQ. So what do you know about the area of these triangles? The area of the parallelogram bisect the area with the diagonal. So that means this is 20 and this is 20. So half of the parallelogram area is the area of the triangle. We can use that. PSQ triangle area is 20 then. 20 square centimeters. Now, how you find out the area of a triangle? Half times base SQ times perpendicular height 4. That's equal to 20. So what is SQ? Here 2 times 2 here. 20 divided by 2. So you get 10 centimeters is the SQ length. So 1 mark for the method and 1 mark for the answer. Question number 11. Factorize. So 2 factors are there equal to 0. That means either x can be 0 or 2x minus 1 is 0. So what are the solutions? So 2x becomes 1, x becomes half. So 2 possibilities, x equals 0 or x equals half. 1 mark here and 1 mark for this one. So 2 marks. Question number 12. According to the information in the figure, name an isosceles triangle and write the equal size of it. So you have given 2 triangles. So we'll see. This is 65. This is 60. What is this angle? So we'll find out. 65 and 60 becomes 125. 180 minus 125, you get 55. So this becomes 55. Now these 2 lines are parallel. So what is this angle? This angle is 55. Alternate angles are equal. Now what can you say about the 2 equal sides? ABD triangle is an isosceles triangle. So AB is equal to AD. Opposite sides are equal for an isosceles triangle. So those are the two sides that are equal. So 2 marks for that. Now you can try question number 13 to 19. 13th one, 2 over x and 2 over 3x. What's the lowest common multiple of x and 3x? That's 3x. Convert to 3x, you need to multiply this by 3. 3 times 2, 6, plus 2, that's 8 over 3x. You can't simplify further. You can keep like this. So 1 here, 1 mark for the method. Question number 14. The sum of the marks obtained by 10 students for mathematics is 670. So total is 670 for 10 students. The mean value marks of another 10 students is 71. How you find out the mean? Total divided by the number of students. So what's the total there? 71 times 10. That's 710. Now, what is the mean value of marks received by these 20 students altogether? So what is the new mean? Total for both. So 670 plus 710 divide by, now we have 20 students, divide by 20. You get 1380 divided by 20. 2 times 6, 12, and this is 9. So 69 is the mean value, mean mark. So 1 mark here and 1 mark for the method. Question number 15. If x plus a into x minus 3 is x squared plus 2x minus b, write 2 appropriate values for a and b. So that means you can compare the two sides. So this is equal to x squared plus 2x minus b. So that means expand brackets first according to the FOIL. First with first, that's x squared. First with last, or outside number. O means outside, minus 3x. Inside, ax, and last values minus 3a. You can write x squared, x terms together. I can write a minus 3x minus 3a. That's equal to x squared plus 2x minus b. Now you can compare the coefficients of each term. X squared is there. X terms, when you are comparing, you can say a minus 3 should be equal to 2. So what's the a value? 2 plus 3, that's 5. Now you can compare the b values. Minus 3a should be equal to minus b. Minus minus get cancelled out. Minus 3 times 5 is minus b. So you get b equals 15. 5 times 3. Minus get cancelled out. So b is 15 and a equals 5. 1 mark and 1 mark. Question number 16. The center of the circle is O. According to the information in the figure, find the value of x. Look at carefully. This is the center. This is the angle subtended at the center. What do you know about the angle subtended on the circumference with the same arc AB? So this becomes half of this. 80 divided by 2, that's 40 degrees. So that's the theorem, circle theorem that you need to apply. Now you can take AOC triangle. Sum of angles in the triangle add up to 180. So what's x? X plus 70 is 180. X becomes 180 minus 70. That's 110. So you get 2 marks. 1 mark for this and 1 mark actually identify for the C angle. Without that you can't find the answer. Question number 17. 2x plus 7 is less than 19. What is the largest whole number suitable for x? So we'll try to solve this. Take 7 to the other side. 2x becomes 19 minus 7. This becomes 12. Divide by 2. Nothing will happen to the sign because you are dividing by a positive integer. So x becomes less than 6. So what is the largest whole number? 6 is not included. So the largest x is 5. So 2 marks. 1 mark here and 1 mark for the solving the inequality. Question number 18. A die in which numbers from 1 to 6 are marked on faces and unbiased coin are thrown on a table at once. What is the probability of having head in the coin and odd number in the die? Now when you take the coin, we know that you get 2 possibilities, head and tail. So what's the probability of getting head? That's half. If it's a die, there are 6 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many odd numbers are there? 1, 3, 5. 3 odd numbers. So what's the probability of getting odd? 3 over 6. That's half. These two are independent events. So what is the probability of having head and odd number? We can multiply these two. Half into half, that's 1/4. Or you can use the sample space diagram. Coin and die. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, head, tail. Now all together 12 possibilities are there. And what are the possibilities that getting head and odd number? This can be head and 1, head and 3 and head and 6. So 3 possibilities out of 12. When you simplify, that's 1 over 4. So you can use either sample space or this method to find out the answer. Both ways you get 1/4 as the answer. So 2 marks for the whole question. Question number 19. The center of the circle is O. According to the information in the figure, find the value of x. Look at carefully. This is the diameter, so this is 90. So what is this whole angle? That's a triangle, ACB triangle. We can say 40 plus 90 plus ABC angle is 180. So what's ABC angle? 180 minus 90 plus 40 is 130. So 50 degrees. The whole thing is 50. So what is x? 50 minus 30. So x becomes 50 minus 30. That's 20 degrees. So 1 mark for the answer and 1 mark for the method. And you already know that when you write just the answer, if the answer is correct, you get full marks. But what happens if the answer is wrong? You are not getting any single mark. So that's why it's good to write down the method, because at least you are getting the method mark. Now you can try question number 20 to 25. Question number 20. Represent to all values which satisfy the inequalities x greater than 5 and x less than or equal to 8 on the following line. So how we mark? X greater than 5, 5 is not included, so you draw an open circle. And greater means this way. X less than or equal to 8, 8 is included, so we draw a solid circle on top of 8. Less than means this side. So satisfy both means you have to color this region. So that's in between 5 and 8. So represent all the values. So you can represent like this. So you get 2 marks, 1 mark for this one and 1 mark for this. Question number 21. ABCD is a parallelogram. Some angles of the given figure are shown by B, C and D. Denote the values of D using B and C. What are the properties of a parallelogram? Opposite angles are equal. If this is D, this is also D. Opposite angles are equal. What can you write about BDC? C is the exterior angle. So exterior angle is equal to the sum of opposite interior angles. So B plus D. But we know D. So make D as the subject of the formula. This becomes C minus B. So that's the answer. 2 marks, 1 mark here and 1 mark for finding this as D. 22. If A is 2, 3, 5, 7, if the expressions given in the table are true, mark correct sign, and false, put a cross sign. 2 belongs to A. So 2 is an element of A. That's correct. So 2 is there. So that's correct. Then it says the set 2 is a subset of A. Subset means this is an element. So we can take separate elements as subsets. So that's also correct. What is this? In A, number of elements in A is 16. That's wrong. So what is actually in A? According to this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be equal to 4. So this is wrong. So you get 2 marks for identifying these are correct and wrong statements. Factor. Factorize. Make brackets. 25x squared minus 9. What can you say about this? 5x whole thing squared. 5 times 5, that's 25. 9 you can write as 3 squared. Difference between 2 squared terms. When you get 2 squared terms like this, the factors are A plus B and A minus B. So you can use that. So what are the factors? 5x plus 3 and 5x minus 3. So you get 2 marks for this, 1 mark for this factor and 1 mark for this. Twenty-fourth one. In the figure, BC is equal to CD. That's given. Find the value of CBD. CBD. Finding X. If this is X, this is also X. For an isosceles triangle, angles are equal. And what can you say about this angle and this angle? Same segment angles. Same segment angles are equal. So what is x? X is equal to 40. Same segment angles. So 2 marks for that. Now we'll take the last question in part A. Mark the point T on the side AB, which equidistance to sides AC and BC, using your knowledge about loci. So what are the important 4 loci points you need to know for O-level exam? Just 4. What is the equidistance from a point? That's a circle. Then you need to know what is the equidistance from 2 points? That's the perpendicular bisector. Equidistance from 2 lines is the angle bisector. And last one, equidistance from a line that's parallel to this line. So those are the 4 things that you need to know. Now this is about angle bisector. 2 lengths are given, so you need to draw the angle bisector. So what you do, you take the compass, keep on top of C, draw an arc. And then you keep the compass here, draw an arc, and here draw an arc, and then you can connect. This point and C. Where it cuts the AB line is the point T. So you need to show this point T and the angle bisector. So 2 marks for that, 1 mark for marking T and 1 mark for drawing the angle bisector. So that's the last question. So each question you got 2 marks. Now we'll look at part B. So answer all questions on this paper itself. So the space is given, so you have to write down the answers inside the space. Try 1 and 2. We'll do step by step. Question number 1, you get first part 3 parts and part B 2 parts. Question number 1A. Nalan got plucked the coconuts off his land. He gave 40 coconuts to the plucker as his charge and brought the remainder home. Later he kept 1/8 of coconuts for domestic use and sold 6/7 of remaining coconuts, and the rest was distributed among the neighbors. What is the fraction of the coconuts remaining after keeping for the domestic use? So here you have to use this one. Later he kept 1/8 of coconuts for domestic use and sold 6/7 of the remaining. So what's the remaining fraction after keeping 1/8? Remaining part is equal to 1 minus 1/8. That means 8/8 minus 1/8. That becomes 7/8. Then they ask what is the fraction of the coconut sold. So it says, read this part, 6/7 of the remaining coconuts. Here use and sold 6/7 of the remaining coconuts. So remaining coconuts 7/8. Out of that 6/7. 7 get cancelled out. 2 times 3, 2 times 4. So 3/4 he sold. So we'll see how many marks for these 2 steps. So according to the marking scheme, it says 7/8, just 1 mark there. And 3/4, you get 2 marks. Now next part. If the number of coconuts sold is 600, Find the total number of coconuts plucked. So, 600 is 3/4. 3/4 is 600. So, what is full parts? First, you have to find out one part. That means you divide by 3 and multiply by 4 to get the full parts. So, total number becomes 600 into 4 divided by 3. 800 coconuts altogether. That's first part. Then second part, it says write the number of coconuts given to the plucker as a fraction of the total number plucked. Now look at the previous one. It says Nalan got plucked the coconut of his land. He gave 40 coconuts to the plucker. So this is 800 means the total after he gave 40. So what's the total number he plucked? You have to add that 40. 840. He gave 40 coconuts to the plucker. So what is the fraction? So fractional part is 40 out of 840. 0 get cancelled out. 4 times 1, 4 times 21. So 1 out of 21 is the fractional part. So how many marks for this step? 2 parts there. So you get 2 marks for identifying this number 800 and 1 mark for this fraction. So 1 over 21. Now let's do the part B. Part B. 3 men can excavate a 15-meter long drain in 2 days. Men, that means 3 men can excavate 15-meter long drain in 2 days. How many days are there? 2 days. So, man days, you can calculate. This is 15-meter length. What is the number of man days required to excavate a drain 120 meters in length? For 15 meters, how many man days? 3 times 2, that's 6. So 15 meters man days is 6. We are asking what about 120 meters? So what you do? 6 divided by 15 multiplied by 120. So 3 times 2, 3 times 5. 5 times here 2, 10. For 20, that's 4. So 2 times 24, 48 man days required. If 4 men are employed to do this, 4 men employed to do this work, how many days they will take to finish it? But we know total number of man days is 48 from the previous part. So how you find out? 48 divided by 4. That's 12 days. So we'll see how many marks for part B. So calculating 48, you get 2 marks. And finding 12 days, that's also 2 marks. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 marks for all parts. So that's the first question. Now we'll take the second question. You get 5 parts in that. So this is about area, perimeter. So let's do it separately. Shown in the figure is a design for a batch. The length of the rectangular part of it is twice as the breadth, and the radius of the sector is equal to the breadth of the rectangle. What is the radius of the sector? How will you find out? It says the length is twice as the breadth. If the length is 14, what is the breadth? 14 divided by 2. 14 divided by 2, that's 7. And the breadth is 7. And it says the breadth is equal to the radius of the sector. So that's 7. So that's the first part. So what is the radius? Radius is 7 centimeters. Find the arc length of the sector. Arc length. So how you find out the arc length? This is a quarter of a circle, 1/4 2 pi r. Pi is 22 over 7. Now we know radius is 7. 7 and 7, 2 times 1, 2 times 2. And this is 11. So 11 centimeters is the arc length. We will give marks for these two steps. Just 1 mark for finding the radius, 7 centimeters, and 2 marks for finding the arc length. So altogether 3 marks here. Let's do the next one. Find the perimeter of the batch. Perimeter, you have to add all these lengths. This is 7. 7 here. What about this one? 14 minus 7, this is also 7. This is 7, this is 7. So what's the perimeter? How many 7s are there? First we'll do 14 and 7. How many 7s? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you have to add the arc length. We found that's 11 before. Now add it together. 14 plus 7 times 4, 28 plus 11. 12 plus 1, 13. 1 remaining. 2, 3, 4, 5. 53 centimeters is the perimeter of the batch. Find the area of the sector. How do you find out the area? This is a quarter of a circle. 1/4 pi 22 over 7 r squared. 7 times 7. So 7, 7 get cancelled out. 2 times 11, 2 times 2. So 11 times 7. That's 77 divided by 2. 2 times 3 is 6. For 17, that's 2 times 8, 16. And for 10, that's 5. 38.5 square centimeters is the area of the sector. Let's look at the marks. 53. You get 2 marks for finding the perimeter. And 38.5 square centimeters, that's also 2 marks. So we have another part. The last part, another small rectangular part inside ABCD. Rectangle is to be colored with a different color. Area of the part is 3.5 square centimeters, greater than the area of the sector. So what's the colored part? 3.5 more than the area of the sector. What's the area of the sector? We found 38.5. So you get 42 square centimeters. And it says the side AB must be a side of it also. What's that side? 7 centimeters. Draw that part by a rough sketch on the given figure and mention the correct measurements on it. So, how you find out the other length? We know the area is 42. So, we'll put x or something to identify the other side. X into 7 is 42. So, what's x? 42 divided by 7. That's 6 centimeters. So, you can draw a part that's 6 centimeter from here. So, you have to show that this is 6 centimeter length and 7. You get 6 times 7, 42. So, what's the shaded part? This one. So, that's the last part of this question. So, how many marks? So, 6 centimeter and here altogether 3 marks. So, finding this one will give 1 mark and equate to this one 1 mark and showing that this is this one 1 mark. So, 3 marks there. So, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, this question also total marks 10. Now you can try question number 3. Information about the charging of income tax at present is shown in the following table. So normally first 500,000 tax is free, the next 500,000 4%, next one 8%. So multiples of 4 normally. Now the annual income of Ranjit is 1,200,000 rupees. What is the taxable income of Ranjit? So we have to deduct first 500,000. So 1,200,000 rupees minus 500,000 is the taxable amount. So 700,000 rupees is the taxable amount. So how many marks for that? Just 1 mark. Let's take the next one. Find the amount of the tax he has to pay for the second 500,000 of his income. So again, it's more than 500,000 because 700,000. So we have to calculate for 500,000, that's 4%. So that's the first taxable amount. So second 500,000, that's 4%. 5 times 4, 20, 3 zeros, 20,000 rupees is the taxable amount for the next 500,000 because now the total taxable amount is 700,000. Find the total tax payment he has to pay as income tax. Now, for first 500, it's free. 500,000 rupees, it's free. For the second 500,000, he needs to pay 20,000 rupees. What about the third 500,000? Now, what's the remaining amount? Total taxable amount is 700,000. So, 700,000 minus 500,000 becomes 200,000 for the next one. So, out of that, he needs to pay 8% tax. So, find the 8% for next 200,000. 2 zeros get cancelled out. 8 times 2, 16. So, 16,000 for this part. So, what's the total income tax? Total tax is 20,000 before and 16,000. So, altogether 36,000 rupees is the total tax. So we'll see how many marks for this. So you get for 20,000, that's 2 marks. You are getting 2 marks for this. And finding 8% of this 16,000, you get 2 marks. And 1 mark for adding these two and get 36,000 rupees. That's the total tax. Now we'll take the last part. The annual value of Ranjit's house is assessed as 24,000. The Pradeshya Sabha of the area charges 480 for a quarter as rates for the house. What is the annual rates charged for this house? So quarter means 1/4 of the year. So annual value becomes, you multiply this by 4. So 480 multiplied by 4, you get 1920. So that's the annual rate. Find the percentage of rates charged by that Pradeshya Sabha. So percentage value is, he has to pay 1920 for 24,000 rupees. The assessed value is 24,000 rupees. So as a percentage, you multiply by 100%. Now simplify. 2 zeros get cancelled out and 1 zero with this one. So what is this? 24 times 8. 8 times 4, 32. And 3 remaining. 8 times 2, 16 plus 3, 19. So 8. So 8% is the percentage rates charged by that Pradeshya Sabha. Now we'll see how many marks for that. 1920, that's 2 marks. And then 8%, another 2 marks. We need to check whether the total is 10. 2 and 2, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 marks for the whole question number 3. Now you can try question number 4. Part A. The pie chart given here is showing the information about the crops cultivated by 60 farmers in Gamunapura Farmers Village. Find the number of farmers who has cultivated paddy. Paddy is 210. We know 360 is the total. And it says the pie chart shows cultivated by 60 farmers, altogether 60. So that means 360 degrees means 60 farmers. They want 210 degrees. So 60 divided by 316 to 210. So 60 times 6. So 6 times 3, 18, and for 30, that's 5. So 35 farmers cultivate paddy. 35 farmers. Then the next part, it says, if the number of farmers who cultivated other crops is 6. If this is 6, what is the angle of the pie chart for that sector? So we have to do other way around. So we know 60 people, farmers. That means the full circle, 360. We need the angle for 6. So 360 divided by 60 into 6. So 60 times 6, 6 times 6, 36 degrees is the angle. So we'll see how many marks for that part. So you are getting 35 farmers, that's 2 marks. And 36 degrees, another 2 marks. Part B, a person who is at a window of the second floor of a building AB sees a vertical tower in the horizontal ground outside. So that's the vertical tower. The angle of elevation at the top of the tower is 40 and the angle of depression of the foot of the tower is 55. The height from the ground level to the window is 6 meters. So first you can mark the two angles. So if you draw a horizontal line, this becomes the angle of elevation to the top and this becomes the angle of depression. So how you mark these two? Angle of elevation is 40 degrees. So this is 40. Angle of depression here is 55. So this angle is 55. That's the first thing you can mark. And the height from the ground level to the window is 6 meters. So this is given 6 meters. Mark this information in the figure given below. So that's what you can mark, these two angles. How many marks for that? So you get only 2 marks, showing 40 degrees and 55. So just 2 marks. Let's take the next one. Rajan, who draws a scale diagram to depict this information, has taken 12 centimeters to represent the height from the ground level to the window. Denote the scale he has taken to draw the diagram as a ratio. 12 centimeters to represent the height from the ground level. So 12 centimeter represents 6 meters there. To find out the ratio, you have to convert to the same units. Convert to centimeters, that's multiplied by 100. Now you can write 12 means 600. Now simplify, divide by 12. 1 means 12 times 5, 60. So 50. 1 to 50 is the scale used. In the scale drawn, the height of the tower is 16 centimeters. What is the actual height of the tower? So actual height is so here 1 centimeter means 50 centimeters. So 50 times 16. That's in centimeters. And later you can divide by 100. 0, 5 times 6, 30. 5 times 1, 5 plus 3, 8. And you can divide by 100 to convert to meters. That's 8 meters. So that's these two parts. So let's look at the marks. 1 to 50, 2 marks. And to find out the actual height, 8 meters, 2 marks. So 2, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 marks for the whole question. Now you can try the last question in paper 1. Out of the 60 selling items of Aruna Trade Center, 22 are electrical items and 30 items are costing more than 1,200. Given below is an incomplete Venn diagram to depict this information. So you have to shade the region that represent the items which are not electrical and the cost is not more than 1,200. Complete the Venn diagram by filling each region with relevant number of elements of it. How many electrical items are there which are costing more than 1200? So we can do this here. So how we mark those? 60. So that means 60 outside. And on a trade center, 22 are electrical items. Electrical items is this. So 22 you can mark here. 30 items are costing more than 1200. Items costing more than. So that means this circle. That's 30. How you fill the other gaps? So this is 60. This is 18. So what is 60 minus 18? 42. So these two should be 42. But when you add 30 and 22, what you get? 52. So the difference is the common part. 52 minus 42, that's 10 here. And if this is 10, what is this value? This is 12 because this circle is 22. This is 30, full circle. So this becomes 20. So that's the Venn diagram. And it says how many electrical items are there which are costing more than 1200. Electrical items that are inside this. That's 10. That's the value 10. How did we get that? 52 minus 42. Now we'll see how many marks you are getting, and also it says shade. This one we have to do. Shade the region that represent the items which are not electrical. That means outside, and the cost is not more than 1200. Not inside this. That means outside. So you have to color outside as well. So that's this part. Again check it. Shade the region that represent items which are not electrical and not cost more than 1200. Now we'll see how many marks for that. So 12, 10, 20, you get 2 marks. And shading everything, you get 2 marks. So second part, complete the Venn diagram. So 3 marks for this, 12, 10, 20. So this is 3 marks for part 2. Part 1, shading. This one you get 2 marks. And then third part, finding 10, also 2 marks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll look at the next part. Last part. Because of a new tax levy, the number of electrical items costing more than 1200 is doubled. Then what is the maximum income that the trader can earn by selling that items? So we need to find out what's the extra amount. So double the items. Electrical items costing more than 1200. What's the value there? Electric items more than 1200. That's 10 before. So now new number of items becomes earlier 10, now it's doubled. That's 20 items are there. Then what is the maximum income that the trader can earn by selling that items? Now here this becomes 20. So what is the remaining part then? So earlier altogether 22 electrical items. Now this part becomes 20. So what is the remaining amount? without tax. That means 22 minus 20. So then what is the maximum income that the trader can earn by selling that items? So we can write income. Income becomes, first you have to find out the extra amount. So earlier 22 minus 20, that's 2 into one item is 1200. The other part is more than, this is more than 1200 and this is less than, exactly 1200. So we can find out this multiply by 1200. 2 times 1200, 2400. So that's the income he can earn by selling that item. So we'll look at the last part, how many marks you can get. Getting 21 mark and getting 2 1 mark and final answer 2400 1 mark. So we'll see 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So 10 marks for that question. So we completed all questions in paper 1, Sabaragamuwa province, grade 10, end of evaluation.